Hello, developers. My name is Shay, and this is another episode of Shay Develops. Today, we're going to be talking about Java integer data types. And these are going to be primitive data types, such as byte, short, int, and long. All right, to get started, let's start just creating a few. So let's start out with the smallest data type. This is an 8-bit, which just means it stores 8 bits of data. Okay, so we're going byte. And let's talk about the minimum and maximum values of these. So we're going to declare and initialize a variable of type byte, and we're going to use the byte wrapper to get the minimum value. And we'll talk about wrappers a little bit, but wrappers help you do more stuff than the original just the data type itself. So with the wrapper we can get the minimum value of the byte, and let's go ahead and get the maximum value. And let's go ahead and print that out to the terminal that we're going to be running the program in. And so a little shortcut for being able to do that is type in SOUT and hit tab. And this is on IntelliJ. If you're using Eclipse, it may not be the same. Let's go minimum byte. Yeah, I can't spell. Here we go. Do min byte, and we'll go ahead and print out the maximum as well. All right, and let's go ahead and run this using Shift F10 to as a shortcut to run my program. And you'll see down here, let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. We got our minimum byte and our maximum byte. So we have a value from negative 128 to 127. And you'll notice that, maybe you didn't notice, but this is a signed value. Java doesn't do signed and unsigned like other languages. If you watch my C# video on integers, we talk about unsigned and signed variations of our integers, just meaning like it can be negative or positive. Now, Java will work with unsigned data types within the integers data types, but they work a bit differently. And I know that may sound a little confusing, but and if you don't know what an unsigned data type is, it's one, instead of going from negative 128 to 127, it would go from 0 to a number about twice as big, because it still takes up the same amount of space, 8 bits, but instead of going from negative to a positive value, it starts from 0 to a positive value. Alright, so let's continue on though. So the next one is going to be short, and this is going to be a 16-bit value. So we can do short. We can do the same thing with shorts as well, because short also has a wrapper. Be short, and we can do. So you see these functions down here. It actually says negative 32,768. So it's already giving us our answer. But let's go ahead and make sure that that's what it prints out. So we max short. Max value, you see it's positive 32,767. And then let's go ahead and just copy these two lines. I'm going to try and make this tutorial as fast as possible. Alright, so there's our short. And we go ahead and Shift F10, run that. And then make this bigger so you guys can read it. You'll see, yeah, we're at negative 128, positive 127 for our bytes, and then for our shorts, negative 32,768 and positive 32,767. All right, so now that we have bytes and shorts, our next one, which you're probably more familiar with, this is a 32-bit in size. This is our standard int data type, which is short for integer, but like I said, all of these are integers, meaning they don't store floating point values, so no decimals, fractions of numbers, anything like that. They're just whole numbers. All right, so let's do integer, which is the wrapper class for the int, and then we can do min and max value as well. Max int. You see our max value is getting quite a bit bigger here. Go ahead and print out these, or copy and paste those again. And run it. And we're going to see down here, we're going to see all three of them now. Make that a little bigger. All right, so we got min byte, min max bytes, min and max shorts, and now our min and max ints. So you see how much more data we can store in our int values versus our bytes and shorts. And this is good because we may not want to store this big or use up this much space if we don't need to. Instead, we could just use a byte or a short. Well, we have one more, and this is a takes up 64 bits, and this is a long. And we can, like I said, do the same thing here and use the long wrapper class. We do max long equals long dot max value, and then print out both of these as well. All right, and then run it. Let's get our last one. And you see now just how big this is getting. See our long here, that's, yeah, substantially, it's quite large, right? But that's actually it for our integer basic, or I say integer, but obviously I don't mean this integer, I mean all of these as a whole: byte, short, int, and long. So these are our integer primitive data types. They store whole value numbers, and they each have their own wrapper class that you can mess around with. They have different methods that you can run within the wrapper class. So if you wanted to just take a look at that just for a second, so let's use integer, and we could compare two ints together, right? So if we wanted to compare min int versus min long, oh, see, we can't do that. Why? Because this is a long data type and min int is a int data type. So we could do max int instead, and we could actually save that to a var and that's out test. And shift F10. And we get -1, meaning that those two values, when compared, are not equal. Here, I'll scroll this in just a little bit so you can see that. Yeah, so our test here, which is the same thing we're printing out right here, is -1, meaning it's not the same. If we were to get a 0, that means it would be the same. But that's just a quick little introduction on the primitive data types and their class or their wrapper classes and what they can do. There's a lot more though, like what you can do with these and what we just went over here. But hopefully you found this Java tutorial informative. Please let me know in the comments how I could help you do better. You had a great time, whatever. Also, if you really want to help me out, you can like, subscribe, hit that notification icon to let you know whenever more videos are being produced. I want to at least create a video a week, if not more, helping people learn different types of things. And then also, I have a link in the description over where you can purchase my book that's self-published on Amazon. It talks about something that's not really relevant here. And it talks about HTML. It's a HTML5 learning and reference guide for $2.99. Anyway, that'd be a super big help to me. Anyway, guys, I hope to see you all in the next video. You'll have a great day, great week, and I'll see you next time.